I'm going to be working on several different projects all at the same time today. Sometimes you just save little projects and do them all at once when you can do them all a little bit easier. I'm going to be moving my fifth wheel, and being I'm going to move the fifth wheel, I don't have an adjustable fifth wheel. It's a fixed fifth wheel, and I want to slide it forward to get a little closer to get the trailer a little closer to the cab of the truck, maybe get me a little bit more fuel mileage that way. So I've been wanting to do that. So being I'm going to have the fifth wheel apart, I've got a couple of other projects that I've been needing to do. One of them is this seal back here is leaking a little bit. So it'll be easier to get to once the fifth wheel's off. And also I'm going to replace all 4 spring brake canisters. These ones have over 900,000 miles on them. And they're starting to corrode a little bit. They still work all right and everything. We use, well, the state of Colorado uses magnesium chloride on the highways in the wintertime to melt ice, and it wreaks havoc on frames and components. So before they fail, I'm going to go ahead and replace them. Like I say, they've got 900,000 miles on them, so they're due to fail. I'll just replace all 4. As you can see, it's got all 4 new airbags. The mag chloride ate my airbags up, and I had a couple leaking, just real slow leaks, so I just replaced all 4 of them. And you can see a little bit of corrosion here on my frame rail. When I have the fifth wheel off, I'll go ahead and sandblast everything, prime it, repaint it, and I'll take the time to paint the new spring brake canisters, maybe get a few extra miles out of them that way before they start to corrode. So that's what I'm working on. Move the fifth wheel, and being I'm going to have it off, I'll do these other projects that need to be done that are underneath the fifth wheel. So that's what we're doing. Well, I've got my fifth wheel in the air. Thanks to my 3-ton right hoist, American Chain and Cable Company, York, PA. I'll see if I can see here's some corrosion here. Show you how it works. Air operated. It kind of takes both hands to do it, but you can see you get down to the metal with it. It'll knock most of the rust off. Well, they're not a very expensive tool, but they come in handy. This spring brake canister was so corroded, you can see it's just basically peeling apart, that I had to torch it off. I don't recommend this unless you really know what you're doing with these spring brakes. They're very dangerous. You can see this one's caged. I caged it and everything, and I just torched the bolt. You certainly don't want to torch any other part of this mechanism. This is a spring brake tool. They can usually be found on the side of the spring brake canister. There's a holder for them. I generally don't leave them in there. I usually take them out and put them in my toolbox. That way they don't get seized up. Like this one here has got a tool in the side of it, but it's froze up inside there. It's of absolutely no value. You'll break the side of the canister before you get that tool out of there. The way it works is you stick it down in there. Let's see if you can see down in the hole. Probably not. There's a square key, and it fits down in there, see, like so, and just wiggle it around a little bit, and then you get it to lock in that key, and you tighten it down, and you keep tightening it down, and what it does is it cages the spring that's in this spring brake mechanism, and it'll pull the arm all the way back and cage the spring and compress it. That way you can work with it. Move the fifth wheel forward about 9 inches. Needle scaled everything. Repainted the frame, all the corrosion. Put 4 new airbags. 4 new spring brake chambers. 4 new sets of brakes. 4 new brake drums. Replaced the seal that was leaking in the rear end there. Changed the oil in the rear end. Spring maintenance. Should be good for another couple 100,000 miles or so before I have to do anything to it. Cost me several $100s, probably closer to 12, maybe 13, but not being left stranded because of one of those issues is priceless.